So welcome. Where's number one? Oh no, we after this one, past this one, right? Are we? No, we're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here. Somehow I felt like we're doing the 151 to 200. Okay, so I would check again. We could be doing 151 to 200, but then this could be a typo. Yeah, this is a typo because the typo here is 151 to 200. So let's adjust that. I'm sure we're doing 151 to 200 because we're doing sets of two or 50-50 on session. So if we're sending it to four, that'll be 4 by 50, which is
That's true.
200. Yeah. Okay, good. So now that we have our settings in order, oh, that's beautiful. We will have a wonderful dialogue. This time around, we will do another one which will be English to Chinese, but I'm considering that in the future we will have some which are partly English, rather Chinese to English instead of English to Chinese. I'm still
Mm.
deliberate on that whether we would do that in HSK one because this is what we're going for, or we do that in HSK two. Um, we incorporate that too because we want to improve not just translating one way, but we also want to improve translating from the other side,
Mhm.
where you see um, where you see characters and then maybe you work your way around whether you consult a dictionary or you figure out what I mean. We'll try and put same level words in those dialogues, and then we'll also try and make them with some listening exercises where you translate what you be listening to instead of what you're reading, which then also improves our listening skills. I think if you saw that those clips we were playing. Uh, Without subtitles, sometimes it could be difficult to really figure out what they say
Mhm.
because when I'm saying Chinese, I'm not sounding totally native. I might get the tones right, I might miss the tones sometimes, but the thing is, I'll be enunciating most of the stuff. With them, they could just go
Hmm.
and they can hear one another, and they expect you to hear them too because that's the natural way they talk. Yeah.
Mhm.
So my encouragement is if you have something in Chinese, just listen to. Um, for me, for us, I think bureaucratic one will be sufficient because our goal is mainly theocratic as well.
Mhm.
But if you want to speak Chinese in other secular circles, I think secular will also be very important because I noticed this. I have issues with the Chinese news. Uh,
Mm.
the vocab is totally different from what we see, and sometimes I could sit in front of the TV watching the news. If it's not for the pictures, I really wouldn't really pick up what they're talking about. Could only pick maybe a few words and then get the gist, but not really word for word.
All right.
Yeah, so my suggestion would be if you have some secular material in Chinese, um, I'm gonna say if it's podcasts are good for speaking Chinese,
Mhm.
but then they won't really improve our listening skills. Um,
Mm.
movies, yeah, movies will improve our listening skills. The news is hardcore. I wouldn't really encourage starting with the news because even I struggle with the news. But
Mhm.
movies, I feel they are closer to where we want to go because they will be talking in more natural ways rather than formal business terms. Okay, so anyway, this is just to give you a rough guide of what's going through my mind and how I feel we might structure our lessons in the future. Okay, so now that you know, I think it also gives you a better position to suggest one or two ways to improve because we always want to improve. If we do the same thing over and over, sometimes it works. Yeah, I mean, they say if it's not broken, they'll fix it. But
Yeah.
I've seen that, reviewing stuff, how things are working, and is always a good thing to do. There's always
Yes.
room for improvement. So yeah, let that sink in, and then kindly give the suggestions whenever you feel like we can
Sure.
improve. Yeah. Did you have any challenges with these words? When said before.
I did. There was a couple that I was just getting confused with other words because of like for example, the G,
This one and this one.
yes,
Okay. So let me
T,
put it down
T,
because what I did this time is I put them all at the bottom for quick
mm-hmm,
reference. So there's this one here. Ji, right? If it's used as a noun, it means a small table. But in other cases, it's used as how much, how many, or several. Okay. So, for example, um, let's get that over with. For example, I can say this will be this topic 12. If there's a difference between G, let's type it up there, and Warsaw, okay? Sorry, I used the wrong two. I wanted the paper, okay? And okay.
mm-hmm,
So you will see that this G um, also means how many on this instance here, or how much, right? Which is the same as Warsaw, right?
mm-hmm,
And sometimes if you use it in adjective, it could be several. So if you say Giga, let's put it down so that our notes will make sense. If we say, we should just maximize it. Giga, okay?
mm-hmm.
That's when we get the several people part, right? If we put a question mark, uh, come on, Google. Okay, let's say your family, um, da, Tia, you see now, yo, ni da, Tia, the second one, no, Tia, okay, how many people are in your family? So now it's taking the how many sense,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I think let's put Jigger in and on its own. Oops, repeating the notice that Ian has. Let's put it on. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Ian, we didn't notice that you left. Let's see. We were talking about Jiga and the other G. All right. Can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, my internet's just bad. It
Oh,
dropped out.
I see. All right. So Dave was asking on two characters, which is this G, the first one, and the other G, which is the one to remember. We'll just touch on it just now. So we were saying this G, it means several in some instances, but it could also mean how many or how much or some. Sometimes you could use it that way. And if it's a noun, it means small table. Okay. So in this sense, as you see, it says several. And then when we were coming down here, we were saying giga, giga. Sorry, I'm always typing. Okay.
Tigeren.
Yes, and then it was translating it as several people. But when we say
Okay.
midajia, yo, jigayen, and then we were going with how many people are in your family, right? So from what I've learned with the Chinese, you use duo shao when the
Mm-hmm.
answer or the number could be limitless, right? You want to ask um, phone number, yeah, how ma, or the how ma, she duo shao, how ma, duo shao,
你的货吗？
right? How much is your number? What's your phone number? Right?
你的货是多少？
If you add 电话 in the
嗯哼，
middle. Thank you for being on our group. What's your phone number? 你的电话号码是多少 right? Or if you wanna ask a price for something, how do you do that? How much is this? What do we say?
多少钱?
多少钱? That's good. 多少钱? Now the answer could be limitless, right? The answer could be limitless. That's when we use 多少. But in your family, for example, we know that your family could be like 5-7 people who will use Jigayan. We won't say 你的家有多少人, even though that's correct, but the most preferred one will be Jigayan because
Chico.
yes. What do you think about the days of the week? Which one should we use?
Chica?
Those. Oh,
Yes, very true. Shinton, Liga, sorry. Liga Shinchi, Liga Tomo, rather Liga To. I think I prefer To because it's short. I'm making a lot of mistyping. Liga To, Yo, Liga Ri, right? Or Tian, okay? Liga To, Yo, Liga Ri. How many days are there in a week?
Oh, yes. Because there's no more than 7 days in a week, so you can't use 多少.
You can't use Joshua in that instance because we already know that it won't be much. We have an idea of how much the number is limited. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So
so Chige for unlimited.
no, Jika is for few, the sum.
Or few some.
Those are for unlimited.
Joshua for unlimited.
Mm. Let's put it up next to the so that we can all see them when we do our comments. So,
这个都有几个
yeah. That doesn't sound too natural. I think you should use 10. You got做有多少有几个10 it's the same, right? 一个星期有几个10 yeah, but anyway, it's still very correct. You can use that version.
Yeah.
You can use that version, right? So I'm just gonna copy this and put the phone now upside down. So.
几个人. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and this could also come in here. So let me just put it on the top. No, I don't need 3 lines after the first because I already put it. Great. So let's go back to the other one, which was D, right? Okay.
D. To remember. D.
Yeah, this is the should remember.
D.
Okay, so you will see its usage in several instances where we say, for example, we'll start with the opposite. 王字, right?
王字.
That's your name, isn't it?
And mine is
Different.
Wang Zhi.
Wang Zhi. Okay.
字. 王字.
Yeah, it's slightly
Wang.
different, but it used to be this one in the past, and then the people said there's no such name in Chinese. What kind of name is that? So another Chinese guy said, "Oh no, let me give you a new one." Yeah.
Wang.
So to all the people who knew me as Wang, it's still the same. My name was just Wang in the early days, until I moved to the Chinese congregation, and then there was a sister who is married to Mr. Wang, a real Chinese now. She's a local sister, but native Chinese,
Mm-hmm.
who is not a witness. So then they said, and then, there was this confusion where you say brother Wang and then sister Wang,
Mm-hmm.
and the husband is not there. So it had to change. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay. So we did that. The Wang did that. So anything that is to do with remembering, right? You will see B,
G,
which is a pen, right? G, which is the
G pen. Mm-hmm.
and pen, which is something that we is a measure word for book, right? So you see B, G pen,
T, pen,
as in, or a laptop as well, right?
P,
G
T,
pen. BT pen.
And
T,
then you see G tie, right? So they're called, G tie. If you're reading the diagram, say 这个记
T,
载，这个记载告诉我们and then what does the G side tell us? Okay, but this record from the Bible. That's the G side. Pretty much this
Pizza.
is how we'll use it. Yeah, the Jida.
Jita.
If you remember, we touched slightly on da as a that one character that's used to. There's several meanings. I think sometimes it means to obtain. Yeah, something like here. Or to, yeah, to be as a finished, or particle showing degree, or showing possibility. Jida. So if you see the first one and in this one, it doesn't really change because it doesn't change the meaning of the word. It could just ascertain the degree of the possibility. So, or it could actually mean obtain or you must, but we can't really dive much into that.
Mm-hmm.
Data, if you remember. Okay, I think we've touched on a few examples of this one. We will work with that for now. Let's go back to our list and see if there's another one, and then we'll do a fresh session, which has oops, sorry, I just copied the whole thing and copied it twice. Let's take here, and then we'll put the English version. So, okay, so let's go back to our list real quick, and then we'll start afresh with the. Okay, that's done here. We were saying G, okay, small how much several. To remember, to note, to mark, to sign, to record. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have Jida, remember, and G to
mm-hmm,
keep in mind. So this one was more like bear in mind, G
Mm-hmm.
to remember. G. Okay, real quick, do you still have any other character that you thought was a little tricky for you in this list? There was no other tricky one.
No, I think we're good for now.
Okay, Ian.
Yeah, I think through the dialogue, yeah, we might pick some that are
Okay,
a
good.
bit confusing.
Okay, wonderful. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna end now, and then reconnect just because we don't wanna go 2 minutes into the dialogue and then get back.
Okay.
So let's just start all up.
Okay.